The Forgotten Bride of Thunder Canyon. In the shadowed valleys of Thunder Canyon, where the Rocky Mountains kissed the endless plains of Colorado in the late 1800s, lived a man named Elias Hawthorne. He was a rugged rancher, scarred by the Civil War and the loss of his family to a Comanche raid years before. Elias had built his homestead from nothing but sweat and solitude, herding cattle under skies that seemed forever angry. Folks in the nearby town of Silver Gulch whispered that he was cursed. No woman would dare approach his lonely cabin, and no friend stayed long enough to share a fire. But fate, as it often does in the Wild West, had a twist in store. One stormy evening, as lightning cracked the heavens like a whip, Elias heard a faint cry echoing through the rain. Riding out on his trusty mare, Shadow, he found her. A young woman, drenched and trembling, clinging to the edge of a swollen creek. Her dress was torn, her dark hair matted like a raven's wing, and her eyes, oh, those eyes, held the fire of 1,000 unshed tears. "Help me," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the roar of the water. Elias pulled her onto his horse without a word, wrapping her in his oilskin coat. Back at the cabin, he stoked the fire and brewed strong coffee, watching as she warmed herself. Her name was Clara Voss, she said, a mail-order bride from back east, promised to a miner named Jed Harlan, but Jed had met his end in a cave-in just days before her arrival, leaving her stranded in a lawless land with no money, no kin, and no way home. "I ain't got nowhere to go," Clara confessed, her accent soft like Boston lace amid the rough frontier drawl. Elias, a man of few words, offered her shelter for the night. But one night turned to 2, then a week. Clara proved handy, mending fences, cooking venison stew that reminded him of his mother's, and tending to the garden he'd long neglected. In the quiet evenings, they'd sit by the fire, sharing stories. Elias spoke of battles fought and brothers lost, Clara of dreams dashed and a life of privilege left behind. A bond formed, fragile as a spider's web, but strong enough to hold against the winds of doubt. Yet whispers from Silver Gulch reached Elias's ears. Jed Harlan's brother, Zeke, a notorious gunslinger with a bounty on his head, claimed Clara was no innocent bride. "She's a con artist," Zeke snarled in the saloon one day, his hand twitching toward his Colt. "Stole Jed's gold map before he died. That woman's trouble." Elias dismissed it as jealousy, but doubt crept in like smoke. Why did Clara avoid town? Why did she flinch at the mention of mines? One moonlit night, as Elias returned from herding, he found the cabin in disarray. Clara was gone, along with his hidden stash of savings, gold nuggets panned from the creek. Rage boiled in his veins. Mounting Shadow, he tracked her footprints toward the canyon's treacherous paths, where outlaws hid and legends spoke of ghosts guarding forgotten treasures. Deep in the canyon, amid jagged rocks that looked like the teeth of giants, Elias cornered her. Clara stood at the edge of a cliff, a satchel in hand, tears streaming. "It ain't what you think. Jed wasn't my husband-to-be. He was my pa. He sent for me to escape the law back east. I helped him forge deeds. But Zeke killed him for that map, and now he's after me." A gunshot echoed. Zeke emerged from the shadows, his gang of roughnecks flanking him. "Hand over the map, girl, or join your pa in hell." Elias, unnumbered, drew his revolver. The fight was brutal. Bullets whizzed like angry bees. Men fell clutching wounds. Elias took a graze to the arm, but his war-honed aim dropped 2 of Zeke's men. Clara, in a flash of bravery, grabbed a fallen rifle and shot Zeke square in the chest, ending the threat. As dawn broke, Elias and Clara stood amid the carnage. The map led to a vein of gold, but they burned it, choosing freedom over fortune. "I ain't forgotten who I was, but maybe I can be someone new with you." Elias nodded, pulling her close. They rode back to the ranch, not as strangers, but as partners in a new life. Years later, folks in Silver Gulch told the tale of the forgotten bride who tamed Thunder Canyon's curse. Elias and Clara built a family, their love forged in fire and frontier grit. In the Wild West, sometimes the greatest treasures ain't gold, they're the hearts we dare to trust.